Just want to give you a warm welcome here, and it's Vikas Chopra, and I'm just double checking on our sound because I had some sound issues last time round, and I just want to say I'll give you a warm welcome to our program again on a Saturday. I know there's been a little bit of disruptions with regards to I'm just going to double check this. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, it's working, just double checking, yeah. Yeah, so I just want to give you a warm welcome on the program and say thank you very much for listening in. The training program today on every Saturday is going to be training for development, personal development and employment. That's what we're focusing on. That's what we want to get. That's where we want to get you into work. Not just that, but want to give you something else. Want to give you some personal development as well. So we have a few range of programs that I'm going to talk about today. And there's going to be a subject discussion as well that I'm going to communicate with you about. And as I say, Vikas Chopra in the Indian way. You can contact me on 07932 604 705. I'll say that one more time, just in case I'm going a little bit fast. 07932 604 705. Our company email is excellencetrain@outlook.com. So you can communicate with me by email, or you can communicate with me by phone. So I just want to give you a warm welcome and say thank you very much for coming in and listening in. And program times have changed to the Saturday, and we're possibly going to be doing the Wednesday or the Friday in connection with the other programs. So there'll be 2 programs a week, and they'll be on training for personal development and employment. So if you're in the country, and whether you're British or whether you've come from Italy or whether you've come from a different part of the country and you want to progress yourself, I would strongly recommend that you communicate with us or communicate with me on 07932 604 705. Yeah, so what I'm going to be, well, that's what we do anyway. So what I'm going to be talking about today, we're going to talk about some available courses that we have available for you, and give you an introduction to some personal development as well. But what I want to ask is, have you ever been in a situation where you've texted someone? Have you ever been in a situation where you've texted? Maybe it may be for a personal thing, but you're communicating with someone and you text them and they don't see what you see, or they don't hear what you hear, or they don't feel what you feel, because you're communicating with them or trying to get a message across to them and you've been a little bit vague. Have you ever had that situation? And it might be something so minute, and you haven't communicated, and because of your one piece of communication, that business that you've got, or that deal that you've got has fallen through. Have you ever had that before? And also, has somebody ever told you, don't text, call. Don't text, call, because calling someone and communicating by text with someone can be so confusing. It can be so confusing that you might lose that deal. It might be so confusing that your communication won't get through. It might be so confusing that you're not going to be able to get into a communication with the person. I just want to shout out Rena from Kanchi Radio, one of our other presenters, and say good afternoon and thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming on board and putting the comment in the box. If you are on and you're listening, feel free to put a comment in the box. Yeah. So the idea today is to talk about communication. How you are communicating with other people. I know one person said to me once before, he says, don't talk to me. He says, just phone me. because it's better to speak on the phone. Speak direct or face to face, because sometimes when you're communicating, your texts can be so confusing for the other person that they don't understand you. So today's program is about today's program is about communication and feedback. Communication and feedback. And on the realms of feedback, I want to say that if you want to communicate with me and talk to me about anything with regards to coaching, personal development, if you want to communicate with Ganshi Radio about their service, if you want to speak to Ganshi Radio about another presenter, or how to make better improvements, or how to do things a bit more, and I use the word easier, or how to improve things so that you as listeners can get full benefits, then I want you to get in touch. All right. Now, I've said this before, if you're a member of the community also, and you want to tell a story that you have that is inspiring to other people, I want you to get in touch and communicate with me. Because in this difficult time period right at the moment, as we're in lockdown, we all need to hear some inspiration. We all need to hear about good stories. We all need to hear about people doing well. We all need to hear about those people recovering from COVID. We want to hear the good stories. We want to hear what you're doing. We want to hear what you're eating. We want to hear about your nutritional value. What are you eating now to make sure that you're staying healthy? What are you eating now to make sure that you're improving your health or boosting your immune system? Now, quite recently, for example, I've had a few pains in my shoulders. Real bad pains when I've been sleeping. And the pain spread to both sides of my shoulders. It's been extremely painful for me. And sometimes, and I've gone over to my brother's house and I've been doing some weight training in the past, and I've been struggling. But here's me that used to lift 160 kilo off my chest, and now I'm struggling with minimal weights. So what have I done? I've just started to, and I'm going to say that I do a nitric oxide dump boost in my system. So I tend to do exercises working where I'm in pain. So I've just started to do some movements without weights, just lifting my arms up in the air in a straight motion up to 30 times, and then to the side, and then pressing up with no weights. Now that has vastly improved my shoulder pain. Although it's still there, but I can feel the muscles in my back, I can feel the muscles in my shoulders working. So what does that tell me? That tells me about movement. That tells me that I need to move more. That tells me that I've been a little bit inactive. See, when I was weight training, I never had these problems. When I was doing boxing training, as I'm a boxing trainer, BoxFit trainer, Insanity BoxFit is what we do, which is not just boxing, it's a mixture of different training arts. And I'll be honest, I never had those problems then, but now they've come because I've been a little bit inactive. I've let my guard down. Have you let your guard down? You stop training, you're starting having these pains, you're putting a bit of a belly on. Well, I haven't put a belly on, but I know that my muscles have grown weak. So the idea for me to now is the message is clear. That I need the feedback for me, which is what we're going to be talking about. The feedback for me is clear that I need to be doing more training. The feedback is clear. Yeah. So in terms of, I want to rewind a little bit back. In terms of the quality of your life, it is all about your communication systems. whether you text, whether you talk. It's all about your if you want to improve the quality of your life, you have to improve the communication systems that you have. You have to improve those communication systems. So whether those communication systems are going to be through phone or but you have to learn. I just want to say hello to Sunil Chamar, yeah? And thank you very much for saying that you're excited to watch the program. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Please feel free to keep on commenting and letting other people know, and share this program out. So as I was saying, we're talking about communication systems and communication. I'm talking about you mastering not just externally communicating, but mastering the creative elements of your mind. And when I say the creative elements, I'm talking about how you are processing things, how you are processing information, how you are processing the feedback you're getting from someone, how you are processing people externally communicating with you. And I know it's very, very difficult for some people during this time period because of COVID. But I want to ask you the question, how are you processing? Viktor Frankl was in prison. And guess what? He was supposed to be executed. Those people that went into prison, Nazi concentration camps, they were only told about their date. All they had to look forward to was their date of execution. That's all. So what did Viktor Frankl do? He started to internally communicate with himself. Everybody else was down in the dumps with their head down. And you know what? Germans, they carried out horrific acts during that time period. Murders, genocide. So Viktor Frankl was there and he was thinking in his mind. He was asking the question in his mind. He was internally communicating with good questions. And the questions were, how can I escape from prison? How am I going to get out of here? How can I escape from this prison camp? And you know what? He didn't ask it once. So his feedback, his internal feedback to himself was, how can I escape? So he'd say, how can I escape? How can I escape? And he kept asking that question over and over and over. And then one day, when he was given the unique opportunity of dumping some bodies, what did he do? He ripped his clothes off and jumped into the flesh. And that is his story of how he escaped. So wherever you are, whatever situation you're in, it doesn't matter if you're having a communicational issue with a partner. It doesn't matter if you're having a communicational issue at work. It doesn't matter if you're having a communicational issue with your team, or son, or child. You need to learn how to master. It don't matter where you are. Viktor Frankl was in the Holocaust. It doesn't matter where you are. I'm sure you're following my communication here. It doesn't matter where you are. You need to learn to master your internal communication, to ask the right questions, and the right questions in your mind will produce an output. If you ask the right question in your mind, you will get the correct output. And the output is what you put in. It's a bit like what you put into your bank. If you put £5 into your bank, that's what you're going to